Hey guys, what's going on? It's Warpath 2 or Adam, and today I decided, after much deliberation and really just much of me not telling this story, it was time to tell you guys about the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me. Now, I do want to preface this by telling you that this is a 100% absolutely true story. I'm not going to name any names. I'm not going to tell you exactly where it happened, but I promise you on anything in my life that this is a 100% true story. You'll understand in a moment just why I'm promising this. So let me set the scene for you a little bit here. This was the summer, I guess year after I graduated high school. Not the summer, but probably like April of the next year. And I was working at a grocery store. I was working in the butcher block, which is like the meat department where you have all your delicious steaks and stuff. I was one of the guys behind the counter who, as I like to put it, wrapped up and served meat all day. My meat. Yeah, I was pretty stupid back then, but yeah, I guess back then not really much has changed. But anyways, back to the story. I'd been working there for a while, and I had just gotten an interview at a company in San Antonio. And so I was going to go out there the next week. Probably going to stay there with my sister if I got the job, and I was getting ready to go on vacation. They didn't know I was quitting, but they hired a new person. We needed a new person. We were getting a lot of business, especially at the times I was working, because we were doing like 8-hour sales every week. It was insane. But they hired this new person. I was back there cleaning out the case, getting ready to go for the night. And he walked up, just a normal guy, shook his hand. He's the new guy who's working. He's going to come in tomorrow and just help train him. Cool. I felt like this is a good leadership opportunity for me since I get to help train this kid. It's going to be a good time. Seemed like a normal guy. Just keep that in mind. He seemed absolutely normal. No reason for me to think this was going to be a weird situation. I was wrong. The next day, crazy busy day. It was an 8-hour sale, and so I couldn't train him, but he was there. He was helping out with what he could. He really didn't know what he was doing, but he was there. And so I come into work. It's like 3 o'clock. He's leaving in an hour. I'm basically the one, maybe two people that are going to work the rest of the night, which is insane, but that's a whole different other situation. And I'm working with him. I'm walking by him, and I'm like, this guy smells terrible. He smells really bad, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And so we're working kind of in a close quarters. There's maybe like 50, 60 square feet that we have to walk around and get the meat from, and then we can go in the back and there's more room there. But customers are just rushing us crazy. And it's starting to smell worse and worse. And it's not getting better. And I'm thinking to myself, like I know I've smelled this before, but I don't know what it is. And finally, I put my finger on it, and he smells like poop. Just let that sink in. He smelled like poop. And so, you know, I was thinking, you know, maybe he's just nervous. Maybe he's just farting a lot because he doesn't know how to handle the nerves and the pressure. Or maybe he stepped in some dog poop on the way in. Whatever, not that big of a deal. I'm like, all right, so whatever. I talked to one of my buddies who's working with us at the same time, and I'm like, hey man, do you think the new guy, do you think he smells weird? And at first he's like, what? No man, he doesn't smell weird. Like, no. And I was like, no, like every time I walk by him, I legit smell poop. And he goes, what? You're crazy. No, that's not happening. You're crazy. Like, legitimately like that. And I was like, okay, you know, maybe there's just, maybe something's going on with me. I'm not smelling it right. I don't know what's happening. But I let it go. He leaves for the day. They all leave for the day. It's just me kind of cleaning up. The smell's still there. And I see little, I guess the best word to describe it is splotches of like brown things on the ground in the back. Now, my first thought was, yeah, that's poop. That's definitely poop. But, you know, there's not really a way to tell, and who knows? Who knows what it could be? It could be mud, it could be dog poop. So I'm like, you know, I'm just going to clean this up. I'm going to spray down the floors, double sanitize them tonight. It rained earlier that day, so there's a good chance it's just mud or something like that. And we'll go on with the day. Clean it up. Next day, slow day, I get to train him. So this guy comes in. Let's just call him Steve, since I didn't give him a name earlier, and just instead of saying this guy. Now, I'm trading him, and it's there again. The smell is lingering. Pretty bad. Pretty hard it's lingering, I would say. And I at this point, I don't know what to do with myself, because I can smell the poop, but I don't know how to approach that situation, because I'm like 19, and I can't say, hey bro, are you shitting yourself right now? Like, for real, are you pooping in your pants? Because that's really awkward. This guy was like 25, like 6 foot something. I'm not about to get beat up by some crazy psycho who poops himself. And so I get called up to the office because, ironically, on this day, after a year of working there almost, I'm getting proper food handling and safety and sanitation training. Hilarious. and I'm up there. I'm talking to the loss prevention guys, like, hey, man, can you just pan over to the new guy? I want to see how he's doing. And I'm looking down there. He's, like, shaking like crazy, can't wrap up the meat. The guy's nervous, and I'm thinking this is going to be just perfect when I get back. So I walk back down there, and when I tell you guys the smell was horrendous, it was legitimately bad. Like, I was covering for the guy, and I'm like, dude, I wasn't telling him, but people were asking about the smell, and I had to be like, oh, we just got like some bad meat in or something like that, when literally this guy was shitting himself. And I know he was shitting himself because I could see the splotches on the ground again. It was a dry day that day. In Texas, it's wet then dry. That's it. You get two things. It doesn't stay that way forever. So I knew that's what it was. So I went to the back. I was like hiding from him half the time, not really training him, because I didn't want to smell the poop. I was pretending like I was important. I had to fill out meat orders and stuff. I didn't do that shit. I was an hourly worker. But I went to the back. I called the office man, the general manager from the back office, and I go, hey, this guy is, we got to get him out of here. He's real nervous. This customers are really worried about it. I came back here. It smells terrible, and I'm pretty sure he pooped himself. And she goes, he pooped himself? And I said, yeah, there's like brown spots on the ground. And she laughed so hard in my face at the fact that this guy pooped himself. And so I was like, she's like, all right, just send him home. Tell him we don't need him. It's slow today. It was. And so I was like, all right. So I got there and I'm like, hey, bro, we really don't need you today. It's getting really slow. So we're going to pick up tomorrow. We're going to get your training done. We're going to get you taken care of. And they were just going to fire him. He didn't know, but he goes, oh no, I signed up to work 8 hours a day and I'm going to work my 8 hours. This guy starts flipping out and I'm like, Jesus, what am I going to do? He's probably going to shit himself even more now. I don't know what I can do in this situation. And so I was like, all right, man, let me just call him. Don't shoot the messenger. Went back up there. I almost said don't shit the messenger right there. But anyways, I went back. I was like, hey, you guys got to get him down here. He's not leaving when I tell him to. And so the loss prevention guy came down. They escorted him out. And I'm left to clean this up. The loss prevention guy comes back after I've told this story to my manager and a couple of the other girls working in the store, and they think it's hilarious. The loss prevention guy gets a paper towel from the counter, literally bends down, like CSI style, crouches down, not like bends down on the ground, but like crouches, scoops up some of the poop in this napkin, lifts it to his face, and says, oh, it's poop all right, after he takes a nice hard drag smell of that. And my whole thought process at this point, I'm trying not to laugh at the fact that you just scooped up poop and stuck it to your nose, but was that necessary? Was it really necessary? We could all tell it was poop. Everybody could smell the poop. You didn't have to stick it to your nose, but props to you for going above and beyond on your job. So I cleaned it up. I like triple sanitized everything. I stayed like 45 minutes late to clean it. And I'm walking back to the front through the pharmacy aisle, and I see two of the guys from the front, some of the bag boys, are cleaning up this mess. They're mopping. I was like, what happened here? And they said, he trailed. And I go, excuse me? He trailed. He stomped out so angrily, there was a trail from the meat department all the way up to the front door. I'm not kidding you guys. I laughed really hard at this, but I could not believe this happened. It's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me. I'll never be the same because of it. But yeah. Just you never know. If you smell poop, guys, if you smell poop, it's probably there. Just keep that in mind. That's my word of advice from this story. I'm going to wrap it up here. Once again, I'm Warpath 2 or Adam. You guys don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Adam7986 and subscribe. If you like the story, let me know in the comments and I'll tell you guys some other stuff that's happened to me. Thanks again, guys. Take it easy.